Hi, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Alini.
And welcome to Tea with Friends.
Cheers.
All right, friends. So if you are watching on YouTube, you can see that we have two special guests.
We do. It's a special day here. We have our first in-person guest. It's very exciting. So you've probably heard us talk about these two ladies before. These are our roommates, or my roommates, but Katie is part of the house, so it's our roommates. So to my left, if you can see it on the YouTube video, is Jocelyn.
Hi, everyone.
And we have Isabel.
Hello, hello.
And yeah, we're going to be just hanging out and chatting. So before we get started, though, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? Let's see, what should we do? We should say, you've already done your names. You can tell us.
Names, profession, and what you are drinking tonight.
Yes, exactly. What are you drinking tonight?
So I'm Jocelyn. My profession is I'm a teacher, so love that. It takes a lot of my time. And then what I'm drinking right now is ginger ale and water, because I feel like if I start drinking wine, I'm going to start name dropping some people in this podcast. And before you know it, I'm going to get some people texting me being like, why were you talking about me last night?
Ooh, Jocelyn will spill the tea.
I will spill the tea with a little bit of wine.
Yes.
So Isabel heard me spill all the tea last weekend.
Well, nice to meet you, Jocelyn.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Oh, of course.
Thank you for being here. And Isabel.
All right. I'm Isabel. I work in the talent acquisition space currently at Credit Karma. I am drinking a nice White Claw and a glass of rosé.
That's on deck, absolutely. Yep. Well, we have these two specialists here. And again, talent acquisition. Let's just talk about that for a second.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I love that. Talent acquisition.
But currently Credit Karma, but
What talent are you acquisitioning? Like, I feel like this is like where you're getting some like actresses to come or something.
That is what I feel like.
Sadly, no actresses, just good old software engineers or who knows what. I can't even tell you.
That's amazing. Well, Alini, what are you drinking tonight?
So I also have a White Claw. I have a raspberry White Claw. And once I finish this, I'll be moving on to a rosé as well. And I'm wearing my wine night sweatshirt because it's Friday night and it's wine night.
Is it actually Friday?
It is Friday, my friend.
Today's been a long day.
There's one story I wanted to share today.
Okay, please do.
Alini, it's not a podcast if Alini doesn't have a story to share. For those of you guys that have been listening, you know that I got a new job. And when you get new employment, usually that means your insurance can possibly change. And so I am switching to Kaiser as of tomorrow, May 1st. And with that means I have to leave my doctor, because my doctor is not in the Kaiser network. And I've been seeing Dr. Stephen Lane since I was in the 3rd grade. And today we had an appointment on like the web. You know, it's like we could do like a virtual one. And yes, it was a virtual appointment. And he had a medical student. And I was telling his medical, because Dr. Lane always has medical students because he's just an amazing doctor. But the medical student was there, and I was like, yeah, Daryl, you don't know this, but like I've been seeing Dr. Lane since I was in 3rd grade. He was like, actually, I did know that because he told me that. And I was like, oh, he told you about me? I mean, probably just like right before the appointment, but still, I was really excited. And I was like, yeah, this is like a heartbreaking moment for me because I'm switching insurance and I'm not going to be able to see Dr. Lane. Yeah, I told him, like, don't worry. Once I can move back to like having, I don't know, Blue Anthem or whatever, I'm coming back to Palo Alto Medical Foundation and going back to Dr. Lane, because that man, I want him to be my doctor when I have children, and I want him to be my children's doctor. Like, I just love him. Aww. I mean, he's seen me grow up. He always asked me about school. He literally was like, how's your mom doing? Tell your mom I say hi. Because he's my entire family's doctor. Yeah, right. So, anyway, that's shout out to Dr. Lane, even though you're not listening, so you don't know this exists.
Shout out to Dr. Lane.
Well, he's so... Yeah, he's fantastic. Big fan.
Okay, do you guys have any highlights to share of your life this week?
I think like the only highlight was when we all went out.
Yes, actually, so last time we recorded was right before we were going to go wine tasting with y'all, and we talked about it. So we should talk about how fun that was. Isabel, where did we go for wine tasting?
We went to Dorset Winery in Gilroy. Free wine tastings, if you remember.
Which Isabel is. So
I hooked it up.
Yes, you did. Yeah, they told us they're going to be doing live music soon.
Oh, yeah.
And we were all
We're
like,
going.
cool, we'll be back.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I think the best part about it was that we could bring our own food, because I think a lot of wineries you have to like buy their food if they offer food. So I liked that aspect.
Yeah.
And just the amount of wine for the no money.
Right.
Right?
And it was really tasty too. Sometimes when you go to wine tasting, there's like one that you're like, I could have lived without that. But I really enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
And then they moved us over to the picnic table and we just sat there. And then after we were done wine tasting, we're like, let's go to dinner.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So we just kept the party going. It was
We
a
did.
fun night.
I know.
That was so fun.
I woke up the next morning and I was thinking, like, how loud were we talking at that
Very
one?
loud.
We were obnoxious.
Like looking over or looking behind me, and the couple was like, "Check, please, check." Can we
Like,
get the
we're
check?
leaving.
I don't think we were that bad.
I don't know. Like they looked very annoyed at us because we were just there was nothing we were holding back. From
There
them.
was no
No.
filter.
There was
That was
none.
Absolutely.
In the middle of the courtyard, just
So you know what?
Just going for
My
it.
thing is, if you can't be happy that other people are like enjoying themselves, then you gotta
leave.
check. Like, yeah, then you should leave because,
Yeah.
especially because it's like it's one of those things where we weren't bothering anybody. We weren't like breaking anything. We weren't being like super loud. We were just laughing and having a good time. And I don't know. I don't think we were that bad.
Yeah, like
I've seen worse.
If I was a server, I would have looked at our table and been like, "Those girls are the girls that I want to sit with."
no one
That's
said
right.
anything either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right. Nobody said anything. It was
Just a good time.
outside. Also, I mean, it's COVID. Nobody's going outside anymore. So it's like, how do you expect us to know how to serve, like, how to act?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. We don't know how to be in public. Just kidding.
Part that I remember is when we were talking about how we wanted a sugar rim on our lemon cello.
and they heard us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
the
go to
bartender,
Limone.
however you pronounce it, and
Yeah.
the bartender comes up to us like a minute later and was like, "So you want a sugar rim?"
Yeah,
We were like, oh,
Well,
It
yeah,
was
because
so
we could see the
embarrassing.
bar from where we were sitting, and we saw that he poured all the drinks in the glasses, and they're like the martini glasses, and there was no sugar rim, and we were just like lamenting that there was no sugar rim.
We
And so
weren't asking for a new one. It was
No.
more of like we were just
We were
like,
oh,
made a
next
comment.
time- Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time we're
like,
gonna
we're
next
gonna
sugar.
ask.
Yeah.
So then he walks over and he's like, "So you guys all want lemon, like a lemon rim?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so he went and poured all of them out, put like a sugar rim, and then poured them back into
I
the
tipped
glasses
him
for us.
well. He was
Yes.
very nice.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting for us to go out after wine tasting. I expected to go home and like watch a movie, and so I had groceries delivered between the hour of 5 and 9 p.m. And we left our house to go to dinner at like 4:45. And so I kept checking my phone, and the groceries were delivered at 7:30. And I was like, "You guys, I should go home." And like, I had like eggs, I had chicken
no.
Like
around
it's
8.
cold outside.
No, and actually the groceries were totally fine.
Because the next morning, the first thing I texted Alini was, how
How
are
are
the
your
groceries?
groceries?
So when I left, I was Ubering. So I call my Uber, and there's like a couple sitting at a table, like while I'm waiting. And I'm like, you guys, I just want to let you know that my Uber is this color, and this is a license plate in case I get kidnapped.
oh my God.
You said that to a bunch of strangers?
To just a couple. And they look, they're like, all right. And they're like, and the girl's like, oh my God, thank you so much for telling me. She's like, all I listen to is Crime Junkie. And I was like, yes. And they just got engaged. Oh.
Good for them.
So I like literally showed them the Uber
Let's
and the
plan a
license
wedding.
plate. And then he came and they're like, yes, you're great, go. And then I got in the Uber and I was like really paranoid for some reason. So I call Chris and I'm like, hi, like I'm on the way, like trying to get him to stay on the phone with me. And he was like, you're being really weird. What are you doing? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he was like, are you in danger? And I was like, no, I don't really think so. And he was like, okay, then I'll talk to you when you get here. And I was like, no.
It's like, you need to stay on the phone with me.
I was like, if an Uber picks you up, you ask the Uber who are they picking up. So if a car like
Right.
who are you picking up? If they say your name, then I'm comfortable getting in it because a stranger wouldn't know that your name is Katie or
Right.
your name is Eleni or Isabel.
Yeah.
So it's always good to be like, who are you picking up? And then take pictures of like the
Yes.
license plate and send it to somebody.
Yeah. You know, they on TikTok, they have like videos where it's like, if you're stuck on it, like if you're in like a sketchy situation in an Uber, use this sound. And it's like a
my
pre-recorded
God, yeah.
conversation. We're like, oh yeah, like we're all here. I have your location. Like, I'm standing outside. I'll see you soon. So that, because if you're going home, like to your own house and like you don't live with anybody,
That's true.
They don't want, like, you don't want your Uber driver to know that. Like, you always tell them you're going to meet up with friends. You never say you're just going home.
Remember when we were talking to the couple that was on the first date?
Oh my God.
Does
Yes.
anybody
Yes.
remember the differences in stories?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
was talking about
Yes.
that, about how like we asked her, hey, how's the first date going? And she's like, we're just like friends from work. Like, it's good. And then she went up to the restroom and we're like, hey, how's the first date going? And he's like, it's so great. Like, I'm so happy we're dating. And I was like, I feel like she thought of this more as like a
didn't she
friend.
ask him out?
He said that
Yeah.
she asked him.
Yeah.
Well, then she looked like she wasn't having fun because she was like, oh, we're just friends from work. Like,
Yeah, she's like, oh, we're coworkers. We just thought we'd get a drink after work. And he was like, yeah, she asked me out on a date, and it was great. I'm like, either either she's just like playing it off really
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
or you don't understand that this is just like two coworkers getting
I would
drinks.
play it off too if a group of strangers were asking me.
I wouldn't.
I would be opposite. I'd be
I'd
like,
be
thank you
like,
for asking.
oh.
Like, this is who he is.
I
This is
would've
how we
got-
met.
I literally would have grabbed my drink and like sat with. Well, maybe if it wasn't COVID,
my
I would have
God.
grabbed
He
my
was, he
drink.
was caught in the thing.
Okay, my baby.
Pick him up.
He's fine.
That's what the harness is for. You just
Anyways,
like grab
I
them.
really enjoyed that moment, but they didn't really feed into it as much as I would have fed into it. If it was like that group of girls saying that to me on a date, I'd be like, woo, like.
Yeah, I would have
About
enjoyed it. And then it would have been like 3 other people just saw me. So if I get kidnapped tonight, they know who I where.
Literally.
Exactly. I just love talking to strangers, though. That's just me. You know, actually, it was funny. I ended up accidentally taking a really long shower today because I had like a whole conversation with myself in the shower. It was great.
About what?
I don't know. I was just like acting out a scene with myself. I was playing both parts. It's like when I was washing my hair and I had to face the water, I was one character. And when I was washing my hair and I was facing the other way, I was a different character.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
Wait, was it like a real like scene or was it something you had like curated?
It was a scene that I had come up with in my head last night when I was falling asleep. And so I was continuing the storyline today. This is why I'm writing books, because I need to put stuff on paper, because I have what I think is great ideas. We'll see.
Jocelyn, at least you don't share a bathroom with her.
I know, like, I wonder if because I know, like, I hear when you guys, like, both play your music, but, like, in those moments, I was like, I wonder if I would just one day just hear a lady just talking to herself in the shower and be like,
100%.
what? Yeah.
If I'm not creating a scene, I'm accepting an Oscar. I don't know, having a fight with someone that I wanted to, like, saying things I wish I'd said 10 years ago to them, you know?
well,
Running into an ex-boyfriend with, like, my super hot fiance. Like,
I think we
that's
all
what I do in
kind
the
of
shower.
like have those moments where I mean I do that too. Like I'll be in the car and I'll be like thinking of a scenario and I was like, I wish I would have said that in that moment. And I kind of almost like regret it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. For me, it's more like a that day thing. Like I'm reviewing the day. I'm like, I should have done that, or like
Right.
whatever. It's not like a acted out in the shower type of thing for
Sure,
me, but
sure.
to each their own.
Well, if I'm not thinking about something that's like happening in my life, like the past couple of days, I've just been running errands, going to the dentist, and I don't have anything. Like I don't think, oh, I wish I would have said this to Dr. Q, right? So when I have nothing to like mule over or process, I create some whole other like.
My shower experiences are a lot different. I'm like, let's just
You're
just like take
hair.
the shower.
No, mine's a whole production. Sometimes I tap dance in the shower.
Oh
I
At
almost-
least you don't have
not
downstairs
anymore.
neighbors.
Well, so I don't do it anymore, but I used to at home. And then when I still lived with my parents, I used to like do a little tap dance because I love the way it sounds on the water. Yeah. Almost died because I slipped. Luckily, I caught myself on the glass door, and my mom came rushing in because she heard me, and like a whole bunch of like shower stuff fell on the floor. She's like, "What are you doing in here?" I was like, "I was tap dancing." She's like, "Never again. You're gonna die."
You are unreal.
It's like sharing a bathroom with me when I have a ton of products.
The hair,
I shed a lot.
yes.
Yes.
I try to pick it up off the floor every single day, but
I don't think you do.
I do.
I don't believe you.
You leave hair here.
Not on purpose.
I know it's not on purpose.
Whenever I'll be like going to the bathroom and I see it on the floor and I just like try to pick up as much as I can every single day.
I honestly don't believe you, but
That's fine. You don't have to. I shed that much apparently because
why do you shed so much?
Well, I don't know.
Must be like a product you're using.
I've been like that since I hit puberty. I just have like, well, and that's because you don't see how much I shed in the shower, and I collect it on the wall and throw it in the trash can.
I feel like I shed a lot too. I think I don't know.
shed so much.
I feel like I'm a normal shedder.
I
Honestly,
shed too much, but it's clear. So
I think it's biological. I think it has to
makes
do
sense.
with like our different heritages. Because
Follicles or something.
I was gonna say follicles.
as a Portuguese woman, I just naturally have more hair in general, and I think I shed because I shed a lot and still have a full head of hair. Like make it make sense.
I mean, I kind of can argue that. I mean, I have a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Luckily, my hair is thin.
Yes,
but
me
there,
too.
like when I shower at my boyfriend's house, I swear he's like, "Do you see the like hair in the drain?" And like went in there, like pulled out this like hairball. He has like since I've been dating him, he's had this snake, and I put my hair on the wall, right? Because
Right,
like
right.
I grew up with sisters, and so like my dad was always like, "Your guys' hair is like in our freaking
Yeah.
like tub. You clean it out." So I like know to like put my hair somewhere.
Yeah.
And since he's been dating me, he's had to snake his shower twice. I should be bald, and he tells me that all the time. He's like, with the amount of hair, like he'll do
Yes.
laundry and he'll get balls in my hair, and he's like, with the amount of hair I find, he's like, I'm surprised you're not bald.
No, you guys don't understand. Literally, if I wear my hair in a bun for 3 days and then shower, I could fit a wig with the amount of hair it comes out of my head.
I think it's because it's like it's up because you're naturally supposed to lose hair throughout the day, and so when you keep it up,
In a bun,
it
it's
keeps
not-
it in
yeah.
there. So then when you take a shower, it's like
And then I get, so, or like the next day when I go brush my hair, anytime I straighten my hair, brush my hair, I swear, there's just hair everywhere.
Well,
I do my best. I promise I do my best. I know it's annoying.
I did not learn about this hair
On
in
the
the
wall?
shower thing because I'm not as well endowed and my hair doesn't really shed. I mean, it does, but my hair like breaks, but I don't get like a long hair to like put on a wall. I
Never
didn't
done, like the wall
I get
sticking.
clumps.
No, I've never had to do the wall
what?
sticking or anything. Like when I shampoo my hair, like nothing, like a few things come out, but like nothing really. And
I'm so jealous. Yeah. I can't run my hand through my hair without having hair in my hands.
yeah.
It's a problem.
I'm not even gonna go. You gotta love what you have. So my hand is healing nicely, if you could see, by the way.
Well done. We're glad.
And so I told all my students about it because it was really traumatic for me.
Right, totally.
And they know my mom, and so we just wanted to share the whole
Hi,
thing.
Jill.
She doesn't listen.
Neither does Anna. That's fine. First time I ever shaved my legs was I was in my mom's bathroom for whatever reason. I was in junior high. No, I was in elementary school, middle school, probably like 5th grade. And her razor was in the shower, and I just looked at it, and I was like, I'm gonna shave my legs. And I grabbed it, and it was a brand new razor, and I just skinned my leg.
Oh my.
A 5th grader with like really thin, light skin, just like whoosh. And I was like, well, now there's no way pretending like I didn't use my mom's razor without permission because I literally have to go downstairs and be like, can you fix me?
I think that would be a great next place to go. When was your guys' first time shaving?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Do you remember?
I want to say it's like closer when I was like probably like 8th grade. So this is gonna be a very traumatizing experience to talk about. So I was at my babysitter's house because like both of my parents worked, and so I used to go to a babysitter's house. And one of the kids that went there, who also happened to go to my school, we were all just like, when you're like in elementary, everybody just like plays and tackles each other and stuff like that. Like totally normal. And so I commented on how hairy his legs were. And he took so offense to that, and he was like chasing me around or whatever. And then he like tackled me, and he lifted up my pant leg, and he turns around and he's like, "Your legs are hairier than mine." And I remember this, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I never that was a moment that I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I need to start doing something about this. And this was probably like 5th, 6th grade, maybe a little bit younger. Actually, I want to say it's like 6th, 7th grade. And so it was like right around then that I was like, "Dude, I need to start shaving." So I. I remember like shaved, but I was so scared of my mom finding out because my mom is like, no, like you need to ask when you're about to do things. And I think I dry shaved. Ooh. My legs, luckily I didn't cut myself, but my legs felt like, like that weird feeling. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I did this wrong. So then after that, I told my mom. And so that was like the moment that I was like, damn, I have to start doing something.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I was probably 7th grade.
I thought you were going to say 7 years old. I was like, damn, girl.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 17.
Oh.
Really, like, no story. I was just like, hey, Mom, I'm going to shave my legs. And I did. And I do remember, like, the first day I went to school, a little 7th grader with my, like, shaved legs and shorts. I was, like, in class just, like, petting my legs. It was, like, the smoothest your legs will ever be.
I love it.
In your entire life.
Yeah. I think I was probably also in, like, 6th or 7th grade. And I remember, because, like, my hair is, like, you can see on my arm. Like, I have arm hair, but, like, it's blonde. And so, like, you couldn't really see my hair, but it was just, like, everyone else was doing it.
Right. No.
It was more just me being like, Mom, like, everyone else is doing it. I wanted, like, when my friend started doing it, like, I wanted to start doing it, too.
Right. You want to, like, fit in.
I wanted
to
fit in.
Everyone else is doing it.
Well, then, okay, also, now this is popping into my head, is my first period story. Which I don't know if you guys are okay talking about this, but I'm completely fine talking about this.
Oh, God.
So my first period was in the summer between 6th and 7th grade. So I was just about to turn 13 because I was like older for my grade or whatever. And my friend and I were going away on this camp called like Camp Kennelin. And the Sunday before we left on a Monday. I was like, I don't think this is it, but like maybe it is. And then I like took a nap. And my parents were, like, taking a nap, too. And then I, like, woke up again, like, from my nap. And I was like, wait, like, there's more. Like, this is terrifying. And I walked into my mom's room and my dad's room, and they're both napping. And I just immediately start crying. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I think it's my period.
Oh, you knew it was a period. You didn't think you were just bleeding
No,
and
no,
dying.
no,
Okay, good.
I was like scared to like grow up. I was like, I don't know what to do. And so then like I like dealt with it. I have like a panty liner or whatever. We went to like music in the park that night, like downtown Los Gatos. And I remember I had to go like change it in a porta potty, and I was like so scared like people would like see like the panty liner in my back pocket when I was like walking there. What if I die? What if I'm in the porta potty? And then I had to go to the camp being on my period, which was horrifying to me.
Yep.
But ever since then, you know, it really gets less scary.
Periods kind of like dominate your life.
Oh, 100%.
Like you get
Our
like
cycle.
you get like 1 week of feeling normal, and then like the week before I cried everything. I was telling Isabel today, I was like, honestly, I'll see a dog video in my like the week before my period, and I'll be just laying in bed watching a dog video, and I'm bawling, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And it's because it's just so crazy. Like what?
I also get very emotional the week before my period.
It's this song. It's called "That's Just How It Goes" by Role Model. It's like, that's just how it goes. Came on in my car after school, and I was just crying.
So yeah, I don't think my story was like anything really exciting. I think, well, I had already known about it. I was kind of like the late bloomer. Like all of my like girlfriends had already had theirs. And I remember like my best friend's mom, she came up to me and she's like you're gonna get yours soon. And I'm like, this is so weird that like some older lady is like telling me this right now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really want to like talk about it. And then I just remembered like one day it just happened. Like you're just sitting there and you're just like, oh, this feels weird. And then I went and I literally just texted my mom and I was like, so I think I just started my period. And my mom was like, cool. Like it was just like simple. Like my mom
That's
my mom didn't want to make like this whole big deal about it because she knows me.
nice.
I would get embarrassed by things like
Yes,
that.
I think that's a good thing.
And so she was just like, here's your stuff. Like if you need me to teach you how to use it, like go for it. If not, like you're good.
Yeah.
And then it was just as that. And now it's just like second nature for me.
Yep.
Mine's pretty similar. Like I was like on the later end, like the last, girl in like my friend group and stuff like that. So at that point I was just like, yeah, I kind of know the situation.
Right.
So
You'd heard all the
it was
stories
like,
before.
I was like, this isn't exciting. I was just like, okay, finally. Like,
It's here, great.
I wish that was my experience, friends. Oh boy. Mine's a two-parter. Because everything in my life is a two-parter. No, so I started my period while altar serving. I remember it distinctly because I got dizzy. My brother and I were altar serving.
That's very dramatic.
At the 8 a.m. mass. So we're already exhausted. And when I pray the Our Father, I pray pretty enthusiastically, but not like a weirdo. And there's a part where you're supposed to like raise your hands at the end, right? For those of you that don't know. And I went to go raise my hands, and David kept pushing my hands down because he didn't like I was going too high. And so we were like arm wrestling, and suddenly I got dizzy and had to sit down, get home, started my period. My mother proceeds to call every family member and tell them Alini laid an egg.
oh my God.
I love that.
And I'm just like mortified. And she sends my dad to go buy pads. And I'm like, oh my God. And then the next day I left for science camp. The first day, that first Sunday, I guess it was just spotting. But I thought that's all I would need. So my dad got the thin ones. And
You know what? At least your dad knew what to get.
right. Fair enough. My dad's fantastic that way. The next day, so Monday, we're at science camp, and I'm doing just fine with my panty liners. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, my pants feel funny.
Ew.
And I had bled through my pajamas, through my sleeping bag, and literally it looked like someone died in my sleeping bag.
Oh my God. Mortified.
And I was luckily all the girls were so sleepy that nobody noticed. I walked up to my counselor. I think her name was Dolphin. I don't know why Dolphin just sticks in my head. I have like a weird relationship with dolphins because for some reason, I don't know if I was in the dolphin cabin, something dolphin was happening.
So you go to your counselor.
So I go to my counselor. They had to wash my sleeping bag. They had to wash my pajamas. And then instead of just giving me like a stock of pads, I had to keep going to the teacher's lounge every time I needed like 2 pads. They'd give me 2 pads at a time. So I would go through 2 within like half the day because they don't have like the industrial kind. It was just like the regular kind.
Industrial.
Wait, you're holding it like this. Is this a tampon?
No, I was like this is how thick it is. It
Oh,
was like,
oh.
It wasn't very thick. I used the like on a
Like
daily
the
basis, I
medical
use
stuff.
the overnighters.
Like, I need a diaper.
Yeah.
Guys, like,
I needed the overnight
You're
ones.
not
Like
helping.
it's like
Yes.
the ones that can last you hours,
Yes.
especially when you're on science camp and you're out in the woods. And I'm like, what do you guys expect from me? It was mortifying. Finally, one of the teachers from St. Simon, I actually told her this story a couple weeks ago when we were on a Zoom thing together. I went in and I was like standing at the door, like trying to get a teacher's attention, and she was like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, I need another pad. And she was like, "Okay, I'll be right back." She comes with like 10, and I was like, "Oh, God bless you, woman," because every other teacher would only give me 1 or 2. And I'm like, "No, I don't think you understand what's happening in my body right now." And it was my first period, and then I came home and I was like, "Mom, I never want a period again." Did your dads buy your pads and stuff if he ever went to the like if you needed a refill?
I don't think I've ever asked my dad, but my dad would not care. My dad was also, bless him because I love him so much. When we all started like wearing bras, he would like get the training bras, and I would be mortified at this, but now that I think about it, like he's such a good dad. He would go through the store and wear the bras on his head or like drape them on him, and he like, and I'd be like, "Dad, this is so embarrassing." He's like, "What? Like, I can wear them too." And so, and like, I would be like so red, and my dad was like, "Yeah, we're buying this bra for my daughter." And now it's like, that's such like a good like dad to like make a joke out of a moment that I'm so like already like mortified about.
Totally.
So yes, I hold my dad at a very like high standard. But if I ask my dad now, like to this day, like, "Can you go buy me one?" He'd be like, "Yeah, sure. Let me know. Like, do we have a brand? Do you have a preference?" He does it for my mom all the time.
Oh,
so
yeah, totally.
yeah.
Yeah, my dad would send me pictures. He's like, "You said the orange one. There's all these orange ones. Which one do you want?"
I have a question for you. I was thinking about this today. What is a trait of you that you wish you can change?
oh my.
I was thinking about this today because I was like, I knew that we were going to be here, and I didn't know if we had to come prepared with questions. Like, it makes you think about what you like.
Yeah, what you
have
would change about
figured
yourself.
out. Yeah.
I think that a trait that I've always been a very dependent person. Like from my mom to Chris, I've always been very dependent on someone else. Like I did not feel comfortable anywhere without someone else being there with me, like a security blanket kind of. So when like kind of like last year, I kind of found my independence. That's what I'm working on actively, is like holding on to my independence. Like that's why I went to Zephyr Point alone.
Yeah.
That's why I try to keep doing things by myself so that I don't get like attached to someone as like a security
Right.
blanket. Because I think dependency is like a huge problem that I've had like since being a child. And so now I'm just continuing that. And I even was talking to Chris. I was like, I need to go places by myself in the summer so that I don't lose that ability to like be okay on my own in like a different situation.
I gotta say, I do think you've been doing a really great job with that.
Thank you.
I mean,
do
you
think
live
you've
on your
been-
own. Like
Yeah.
that's already like a big like
Yeah.
That's
independence
huge.
thing.
It was
Yeah.
a very big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Isabel, you looked like you had a
I feel
thing.
like Isabel's like
I'm-
deep in thought right now.
I'm like,
She's perfect. Eleni, are you still thinking?
I think there's so much about myself that I would change, but a lot of it is like I also really wouldn't, because I've
It
grown.
made you who you are.
Well, and I've grown to just like love the weirdness that I am.
Okay.
But I think one thing that I've been working on is, especially the past couple of days, is really just like not avoiding things that I know are going to be good for me and just like getting my together. I think the thing I would change is my discipline in being able to do stuff even if I don't have motivation. I think that motivation for me comes like it ebbs and flows, and I need to be able to stay consistent regardless of motivation. I think that's something I would change.
I mean, you did a lot of things the past 2 days.
Oh my
so.
gosh. I've been so productive the past 2 days. It's ridiculous. You guys, I read an entire book. I mean, it was a really short book today, but I read an entire book today.
That's wonderful.
Because I want to start my day. I keep saying I want to start my day with nonfiction. Yep. Thank you. I read an entire book today. It was an adapted little book from a TED Talk, but it's called We Should All Be Feminists. And it was really fascinating.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. I think my trait, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think you guys heard me kind of talk about it last weekend, is I'm very passive with everything in my life. I pretend to let things go and pretend that they don't bother me. But then I slowly just start crying in my own bedroom. But I see myself getting in those like passive moments, and I'm like that with everything. Like you see me like at work, like I think my students know me as the nice teacher because they rarely ever see me get mad. And so I think like my goal this year is to start, I guess, not being like super aggressive and being like, no, this hurts me, and I expect more, but being more of like, yes, because I'm also like an internalizer. So I internalize things first and then I think about it. And if it bothers me in like 2 days, then I'd feel like the need to bring it up. But maybe like not waiting so long and maybe just kind of having those conversations with like, hey, like I'm a little bit hurt by this, or hey, like not being so passive and not being like, oh, it's okay. Like I'll just do it for somebody. Like, oh, I'll take on the math teaching for this week. Like, even though I'm going to be busy, like, so I think that's the trait that I hate the most. Yeah.
Like voicing like your feelings
thoughts.
before just like letting it slide like each time. Like
yes, because it's like I notice that if I don't voice it to the person or like to my job or whatever, I end up coming home and voicing it to you guys and being like, this bothers me. And then I also feel like that's emotionally taxing on both of you too. And because I'm like, I don't know, I don't ever like feeling like I'm a burden to someone. And I think that's why I don't like being passive, because I feel, or like I am passive because I feel that if I bring something up, then I'm just going to be known as like, oh,
Naggy.
she's nagging, or she's not happy, or she's not this,
Or she
like,
can't handle it.
or she can't she can't handle her job, and so I think like that, and I'm such an overthinker. So I think in my like head, like, oh my God, I'm going to be known as this person that is just like, I'm nagging people, I'm nagging my friends. And so I think like I need to find that balance of like, okay, sometimes letting things go when I know that it's just like my feeling, but sometimes like my feelings are valid. And so
Your feelings are always valid.
And I don't want to come home and like vent to you on my lunch break about like
what you always can. But I get that you don't want to.
Yes, like I know I always can, but it's like when I was trying to decide if I was going to stay at my job or not, it was like one day I was like, I'm going to leave my job. Tomorrow, next day, I'm going to stay. No, I'm going to leave. No, I'm going to stay. And I was like sitting there and I walked upstairs and I was like, wow, my roommate must get so like, because you were working, so I don't think you could hear us, but I was like, Eleni must get so tired of me because I'm always like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And like, even with other things in my life, like I'm always like, Eleni, and then I sit there and cry with you for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I just don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, well, talk about it. Like, tell people, like, tell your job, do this. I'm like, okay. And then the next day it's like, it never even happened. And so it's like, I feel like I need to stop being passive in my life. That is my goal this year, is to like,
that's awesome,
start having those conversations. And obviously, like, if my job is going to get upset or friend or anything gets upset by me bringing it up, then I think that's also a clear sign of like, it's not me, it's them. Like if they can't handle me just sometimes being like, hey, like I view things differently than you do. Like my feelings are going to get hurt in this situation. Like I hope you understand, or I hope there's a middle ground. And like if I like have those conversations and the person's like, well, you're wrong, blah, 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 then that's obviously like that. I'm going to take that as my sign of like, this 100%. Is it. Yeah.
Well, I definitely feel like if I say no to something at work, it's like, I can't handle it. Or for me, it's just like that I can't handle my job. Yeah. And I don't want to let people down or like create a burden because I'm not taking something else on. So even I had to ask for like an afternoon off to go to a doctor's appointment. And even doing that, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't ask that. Like, it's going to create a burden. I have to find a sub, like, blah, blah, blah. I did, and everything is fine. Everything was fine with it. But, like, still, like, it goes through my head of, like, I should just not ask and just, like, do it another time. So, like, I don't know. I feel the same way. I'm also very passive.
I think it's the teacher in us, because it's like we have students that like have things in their lives that they can't control. And so we just like excuse their behavior. And it's like those situations are fine. But at the same time, it's like as teachers, we take on so much emotionally, socially, physically. I swear, like it's just that
everything.
Job. Yeah, like I feel so, even though I'm distant teaching right now, I get done with a lesson and I am just drained because I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. I am just like still trying to give all of my energy, and it's so emotionally taxing. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, then I like get done with work, and then I like have to, like, then I get even more like, I don't know, I feel like more hurt by things that like people do, or like I have a friend and I feel like I always put in more effort than she does in relationships. Right. Yeah. And so I let it go, and it bothers me because then I like got a phone call. You never invite us there, like blah, 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 blah. And I got so hurt by it because I feel like I put in a lot of effort to that and I don't get anything back. And so I think that's like another thing, like being passive is sometimes you just let people's like low effort just go by and be like, okay, well, like they're doing their thing. Right. And it's like at some point, like you have to realize like you yourself are a priority. Like you gotta like, you got like, people should see you. Like, I understand, like, people have work and jobs or
Right.
like work, school, blah, 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 like all of this stuff. But like, if I take the time to text you, I expect that back.
Totally.
Like, my parents are busy, but I get a good morning text from both my mom and dad every single morning without fail.
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
And
that's
so,
sweet.
yeah. And like every single day, they're both like, good morning, like, love you. And like on Fridays, my dad puts like a little beer glass and was like, go enjoy your weekend, kiddo. And
That
so
is
it's
so
like,
sweet.
yeah.
That's so cute.
And so it's like,
That is cute.
it is. And so it's like, my parents like have busy lives, but they still put in the effort to
Right.
text every single one of their daughters that. And so it's like, to me, it's like, I need to stop being so passive about things like that.
Totally.
Like,
I think that's great. I think it's great that you want to start voicing what you feel when you feel it.
yes, let's see if it actually works.
It's the story of my life. Like if a friendship that I've been putting a lot of effort into and like the other person's not reciprocating, it hurts me probably way more than it hurts them because, well, I think we talked about this one time. The more effort you're putting in, that's why teaching is so hard. That's
Yeah.
why relationships are so hard. It's because you're putting your all in.
Yeah.
And when it's not reciprocated back to you, it hurts way more.
Isabel, you're on the hot seat now. What's
know.
your trait?
The trait I would
Change about
change.
yourself.
Wait, you guys gave great answers. Like, I'm working on this.
You're not working on it.
I'm like, oh, okay. But like thinking about it, like the trait I would probably change is I'm a very stubborn person. I could be less stubborn and also just like less like impatient as well. Like those are the two traits that like come to mind is like stubbornness and impatientness. But like, am I working on that? Like, probably not. But like, probably should.
Recognizing that those are your traits is you working on them.
Exactly.
Let's just say that now.
Step
Like,
one.
I can recognize
Absolutely.
that I'm very stubborn and very impatient.
If you were going to work on it, how do you
Oh
think
my
you would
God.
go about that? Do you
I
even
don't know.
Yeah. Tune in 6 months from now for an update.
I
on
will
that.
fill you all in.
I will let you know when it happens.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, I kind of want us to share like our bonding moments with like each other. Like when we like, what was like a
Okay,
peak
before
moment?
we do that though,
Okay.
I do want to talk about how lucky we all are. Like kind of what you just said about
Oh, okay.
about how we found each other. I want to kind of tell our listeners how we came to be roommates because I love this story because it's just
It's so out of left.
it's so out of left field.
We hope you tune in next week on Tea with Friends to hear the rest of our conversation with Jocelyn and Isabel, where we talk about how we met. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at t.w.friends, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.
Bye, friends.
Bye.